Okay, so for the collection management exercise, this covers one of the major responsibility of a librarian. You're in charge of a subject collection, and this involves both purchasing and looking at journal subscriptions and reviewing and unfortunately weeding out resources that either you no longer need or that you can no longer afford. There's many institutions are dealing with decreases in the library budget, and this requires librarians to go and critically look at the journals and see which ones have the highest usage. And you have a budget, and so you need to look at this, how much the subscriptions cost, and balance the cost versus the usage. So in this assignment, we want you to pretend you're a science librarian, and you've been given the task of cutting 10% of your journal subscription costs. And this isn't unreasonable. In fact, this is something that I had to do my first semester when I became a science librarian. I was given a budget cut to deal with. And so what we're doing is we're giving you a spreadsheet of journals, and it gives you the usage along with the subscription costs.
So, as Sarah mentioned, this is a very real exercise. I also got to do this my first year as a librarian, and it is true that inflation costs with journals are very different than in any other product, and so you do have to cut in order to maintain your budgets. A really important part of this is the communication factor. So making sure that you're communicating what might need to be cut and the rationale for cutting it. So in this assignment, we want you to create a clear list of the journals that you're going to recommend cutting with the reasons why you're cutting them. There's different factors that you're going to want to think about, like what is the reputation of that journal? You might want to look up journal metrics. How is it being used? You might also want to examine what journals researchers in your area are publishing in or think are important. You could pretend like you worked at a specific university like University of Buffalo and research, for instance, if you were cutting physics journals, what do the physics professors actually study at University of Buffalo when you're making your decision. Finally, we want you to write a letter to the department chair in your area explaining the situation and justifying the budget cut and why you're cutting those journals.